The mandala ritual, which symbolizes the offering of the whole universe, with a sacred Mount Meru in its center, initiated the ceremonies. Siddha Rinpoche performed the traditional hair cutting. A small piece of longer hair was left for this purpose on the back of his head. Then the two Rinpoches proclaimed his new complete name as the Karmapa. This name was predicted by Guru Rinpoche, found in a terma of Chujor Dechen Lingpa. His Holiness the Dalai Lama entrusted Situ and Gyaltsab Rinpoche with several offerings for His Holiness the 17th Karmapa, a blessing for his long life and his activity, a scarf, a special protection and blessing cord. Very auspicious was the offering from the Dalai Lama of his personal mala. At the completion of the ceremony, all the Rinpoches made their personal offerings to His Holiness, followed by the lamas and the monks. Karmapa left Lhasa directly following the ceremony to return to Tsurphu.
The former Vajra master of Rumtek Monastery, Tengar Rinpoche, presently the head lama of Wenchen Puntsok Dagyeling in Swayambhu, reflects on the 17th Karmapa.
In general, the Karmapa is the embodiment of all the Buddhas, and the lamas are emanations of Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Since they are Bodhisattvas, how is it that we, ordinary people, can meet them? This depends on our individual minds. Anyone with faith, belief, and devotion at any time can meet the Karmapa. If you don't have belief or faith within your mind, then you cannot meet him. For example, think of the ocean and the moon. If you have an ocean, then a beautiful moon can be reflected within it. But if there is no ocean, there is no place for the reflection. So some people are able to meet the Karmapa right now, and others are not. It depends on the individual. Sentient beings perceive things in different ways. As for myself, I trust that this is the 17th Karmapa, and am overjoyed that he is enthroned. I wish all my disciples many tashidele. In the words of the great Lord Karmapa himself, this monastery of Tsurphu in the Dao Valley is without an equal in this world of ours. For the one who sees or visits it, or even thinks of it just once, the misdeeds and obscurations of eons will surely be dispelled. His Holiness studies writing and reading daily from 9 to 11 a.m. and from 3 to 6 p.m. He presently has 2 teachers, and recently he has started to study English for half an hour each day. Umze Tupten Zangpo is Karmapa's present reading teacher.
Tulku Urgyen Rinpoche was one of the main teachers of the 16th Karmapa.
Karmapa unifies qualities of all 5 Buddha families, which are Buddha, Karma, Vajra, Ratna, and Padma. Karma means activity, and the Karmapa actually is the one who carries out the activity of all the Buddhas. Since the first Karmapa, Dusum Khyenpa, the Karmapas signify this activity, and it is said that those who see him and his black crown, inseparable from him, will be protected from a lower rebirth. That's why his Vajra crown is called liberation by sight. Tibet is blessed by Chenrezig, and up to the present 17th incarnation, the Karmapas are emanations of this great Bodhisattva. Through films such as this, those who have faith are enabled to enter the path of liberation, because by seeing Karmapa's face, but for a fraction of a second, the karmic obscurations of 7 rebirths will surely be dispelled. After his morning studies, Karmapa enjoys a recess, although sometimes his free time is interrupted for scheduled interviews.
Baby!
There are 5 small protector shrines in Tsurphu where prayers are offered continuously. Yangzi Rinpoche, a Karju Tuku, shows his respects. The night before the enthronement, the monks readied the elaborate ceremonial offerings. Drupal Dechen Rinpoche organized the order of the offerings he and others will give the Karmapa. The morning of the enthronement. It had snowed the night before. The mountain, home of the protected deity, was completely blanketed in snow. This was taken as an extremely auspicious sign that the local divinities were pleased. Approximately 20,000 people came to celebrate the enthronement of His Holiness the 17th Karmapa. Pilgrims' tents were pitched everywhere around the monastery grounds. Trungpa Rinpoche is the abbot of Rumtek, a senior meditation master and venerated scholar. He traveled up from Kathmandu to pay homage. Several foreign visitors arrived the week before to join in the festivities. Representatives from the government of the People's Republic of China and the Tibetan Autonomous Region came in the early morning to hold witness to the enthronement. Alongside Karmapa's parents, we view Tokten Amdo Palden Rinpoche. Karmapa studied under his guidance for the last 4 years as a monk in Kalik Monastery near Latok in Kham. Because of limited space inside the main shrine room, only a few hundred were allowed to participate inside, mainly tukus, lamas, representatives from the main schools of Tibetan Buddhism, and disciples from Dharma centers abroad. This day, this young monk will become fully empowered as the 17th Gyalwa Karmapa, destined to become one of the greatest living saints of our time. The Chinese section of the ceremony lasted for half an hour, beginning with the announcement from the Beijing government. Lama Lodro initiated this section of the ceremony. The red book offered to the Karmapa by a government representative is the bureaucratic seal of approval of the recognition and enthronement of this child Tsurphu as the reincarnation of the 16th Gyalwa Karmapa. Shortly following, another official expressed his thanks to the Office of Religious Affairs in the name of a representing Rinpoche.
Ladies and gentlemen, the first event which is involved with the execution of the letter, which is the approval of the His Holiness incarnation from the Beijing government. This ceremony is over. Now, the next ceremony, we will perform the traditional Buddhist religious ceremony.
A half-hour respite was accorded between the sections of the enthronement. The spiritual ceremony began at noon. This was an auspicious time because 4 planets aligned in the sign of fire.